My name is Jenny Collins. I'm the Executive Director of the Chehalis Foundation. Let me introduce Barbara Sommer Feigin. She is the author of My American Dream, A Journey from Fascism to Freedom. She grew up in Chehalis and graduated from the then Chehalis High School and graduated in 1955. After that, she went to Walla Walla and graduated from Whitman College in 1959. She is currently on the Board of Trustees at Whitman. Then with another scholarship, she completed a graduate program in business administration. This graduate program was ran jointly by Harvard Business School and Radcliffe. The program was for women only at a time when women were not admitted to Harvard Business School. From there, she moved to New York City, where she married, raised a family, and built her career. I'd like to introduce you to Barbara Sommer Feigin. Enjoy her comments.
Hello, I'm Barbara Feigin. I wrote the memoir, My American Dream, A Journey from Fascism to Freedom. And I want to tell you a little bit about it today. I want to tell you why I wrote it. I want to tell you a little bit about what the story is all about. And I want to tell you a little bit about what the effect is that I hope it has. I learned of a journal that my Jewish father kept before, during, the terrifying, death-defying escape he, my mother, and I, at age 2.5, made from Nazi Germany in July of 1940 at the onset of World War II. I knew, of course, that we had escaped, but I knew none of the details. I remembered nothing, and my parents never spoke about it. So reading this journal of my father's was really quite an eye-opening experience for me. My father wrote about the harrowing 17-day train trip our family of 3 took as part of a group of 82 refugees from Berlin through Lithuania, Russia, including Siberia, China, Korea, and Japan. And from Japan, on a 14-day trip across the Pacific Ocean on a Japanese ship called the Hikawa Maru, which landed in Seattle. My parents were able to take nothing of value with them on this escape journey. They came with $10.50 for our entire family, with the clothes we had on our backs, and with what they could carry, including a tent, which they thought we could live in if need be. They had no idea what would become of us all. They had no money, no connections, no idea how they would make a life for themselves in America. But despite all these hardships, they were absolutely elated to be in America, the land of the free. And they were very, very fortunate because when they arrived in Seattle, an organization of Quakers helped my father to find a job in Chehalis, a town in Southwest Washington, where we finally settled. Despite all their hardships, as I said, my parents were so elated to be in America. They just were so thankful. I was emotionally overwhelmed when I read about it, and I really thought so much about aspects of my parents' character that I had never even thought about during the years that I was growing up. I thought about their incredible courage and bravery as they made this escape, their determination and perseverance as they tried to build a new life in the United States, and their continual optimism and resilience as they went through various hardships during that process. I learned too that my family was completely grateful for the kindness that was shown to them by the people of Chehalis in admitting them to the Chehalis community. Let me tell you a little bit about the book. First of all, I wrote it essentially for my sons, my grandchildren, and generations to come, because I didn't want any of them ever to be as ignorant of what came before them as I had been. And I think as additional people might read my book, I hope they'll find it interesting and hopefully inspiring. So the book itself starts with my father's journal, the full text in his own words, and it goes on to talk about 3 intertwining stories of my own life. The first of a young refugee girl in a German-speaking family in a small town, Chehalis, yearning to become an authentic American. The second of a wife and mom of 3 sons, fiercely dedicated to building strong family bonds during times that were sometimes turbulent, including 25 years as a caregiver for my husband, who suffered 2 very serious strokes when he was quite young. And finally, the story of a trailblazing woman executive who rose to the top in her very male-dominated industry, advertising, in a time when women really had virtually no opportunities for building careers. My hope is that as you read this book, you'll not only find it interesting, but you'll be inspired by a couple of the key principles that have guided my own life. The first is knowing and appreciating the importance of education as a way to open doors to opportunity. And the second is to dream big, work hard, and never quit. No matter what stage of life we're at, big dreams really can come true. I hope with my story that I can inspire at least one person. If I do that, I'll feel like I really made a difference.